Yo, what up, world? Dopeless Hope Fiend here, back with another installment of my journey with this motorcycle. So, without further ado, we got her tore apart. So, I don't remember what all I covered in my last video. It really wasn't well shot, well thought out at all. So, I'm going to just go over a few things here. So, what I'm working on now is the fuel pump. I replaced it weeks ago. It never worked, couldn't figure it out. Yeah, so I introduced, you can see it hiding under there. There's an inline filter, right, coming in from the what's going to be the petcock, connecting to that hose there, coming out to the sending unit, and then back underneath into the carburetor, right? Look at all that dirt. Rode hard and put away wet. So anyways, I saw this video last night. Again, YouTube University saving my ass. So underneath all this tape right here is the wiring harness for the fuel shutoff relay. If the bike is ever in an accident, it's to tip it over. And I saw a guy bypass it. So he took a paper clip and went from one to the other on the connectors here. Now, I know I taped it up so you can't see it. It's already too late. But if you look here at that wire, that's the lead to the pump. It's black and blue, and that's also the power that's supplied to the shutoff. So I jumped the wire from that to, I believe, I want to say it was yellow. It might have been the ground. No, I think it was the ground. I don't know. Either way, I jumped the wire and bypassed the relay. So when I turn the key forward, now the pump works. That's the first time I've ever heard it make a noise. So the issue that was causing is I'm going down the road and it bogs out at speed. So here's my journey with all of that. Okay, so when I bought the bike, I didn't realize what I was getting into. Upon further investigation, velocity stacks, dual carb, TJ Brutal Customs. I upsized the jets to a 145 and a 45 per TJ Brutal Customs, as well as my mixture screw 2.5 turns out from fully closed. And then from there, I just kind of dialed it back. I believe I'm at 1 3/4 right now on each side. So when I bought the bike, the kid started it up and it ran just fine, but it was winter time. I didn't know what I was doing. Long story short, I bought a project. So when I first rode it, it didn't ride right. So I got into it. The diaphragms in the carburetors were torn and shredded, and it was all gummed up, and I don't know how many winters it had been sitting, but it had the buildup from it. Then it remarkably fixed the problem as far as fuel delivery, from idle to, I want to say, half throttle, and then from half throttle out, maybe quarter throttle out, it would choke again. So I went through the system again. When I did the jets, I only bought one set of jets, so I had a 45 and a 145 on one side and a 40 and a 140 on the other. So when the new jets came in, I put the correct jets in both sides, and then replaced the petcock on my tank. Now when I did that, I found out that the in-tank filter that goes over the petcock was missing. So the flue that was inside the bung in the bottom of the tank was just accepting anything that the tank would give it, and the inside of this tank is terrible. It's rusted all real bad. I just don't have the budget to deal with that right now, so we're just trying to make it work. So that being said, the bung and the petcock were completely corroded and built up, and the old fuel pump was completely corroded on the in and the out. So I hit it with carb and whatever, but then I ended up ultimately just replacing it, as you see right now. So, and then I introduced the inline filter, okay, because there was no filter on this at all. when I got it, like at all. And that was concerning. But anyways, so now the new petcock's in. It's got an in-tank filter. It's gonna come down to the main feed into my inline filter, and then through the pump, and then ultimately into the carb. So we should be good. Now, the issue that I was having is, even though I did all that work prior, when I would be at speed, mainly 55 to 65 miles an hour, the bike would fall on its face, as they say, starved for fuel, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So I was thinking about bypassing the sending unit, going gravity fed, yada yada. Long story short, I found out it's the relay, and I don't know what's up with these shadows, because the guy put a relay on and it didn't work. Now, I used a turn signal module is what I ended up plugging into that, so I don't think it was the kind of relay, but it plugged up just fine. But no wonder it didn't work. So now that I bypassed it and the pump works, it should work at speed. So what I learned was, when the pump's not operational and you're driving at speed, the G-force from the bike moving forward forces the fuel to stay in the fuel pump, and it can't keep up with the demand. So now, and how I learned that was, if I'm going down the road and I just very gently roll on, I can go all the way full throttle, top speed, no problem. But if I'm doing 50 and I yank it one time, it'll slam on its face. So it's from that demand that I'm going, and the force from it wouldn't work. So now, got that bypassed, pump's operational, I should be good at speed. However, I can't take the bike out right now, because I'm pretty sure I covered this in my last video. I had an issue with my regulator rectifier. When I went on the maiden voyage with this bike, I put over 200 miles on it with a faulty regulator rectifier. So my stator, which is inside my crankcase here, was overcharging the battery. Over 20 volts, constant, 60, 65 mile an hour, whatever. I was out on country roads for 200 miles. So amazingly, I didn't melt the battery. I mean, I did fry the battery ultimately, but I didn't cause a fire, so thank God for that. So okay, now I got the new regulator rectifier. Now the terminal, the hot wiring harness, likes to hold resistance and melt, so I went ahead and bypassed it, and I just crimped it and heat shrinked it, right? And I threw my multimeter on the battery, and it was throwing a charge. When I would hit the throttle, I would, not full throttle, but I would, idle up all the way up as high as I can stand it, and it wouldn't go above, I believe it was 16.5, I think is what the reading was. Don't quote me on that. It's been a couple weeks. So when I changed the regulator rectifier and I put the multimeter back on, hey, it worked, and it was fine. So I thought the problem was solved. The next week I went to work, and I had a dead battery. So I fried the battery, okay? Put a new battery in, check it, same thing, the voltage is fine, so I ride it. The next day at work, I was coming home, and it's nighttime. I work second shift, so when I'm coming home, I kill the clutch to the bike, and all the lights dim because the RPMs drop off. And that tells me that it is a regulator problem. So I haven't rode it since, because I don't want to fry this battery. So I ordered a stator and a regulator rectifier. It's in the mail. It should be here in the next week for the regulator rectifier, and 2 weeks for the stator. Then I have to open this crankcase and get into that. So when I get into that project, I will be documenting it, and you guys can just follow right along. So yeah, this has been my project, and I've been loving every second of it. It's been a learning curve, and I'm doing my best here, and thank God for sobriety. Thank God for another day clean, and just God is good. I don't want to turn this into a preaching channel, God this, God that, but I can't deny the truth. And at the end of the day, God saved me. He put his hand on my shoulders, and I finally listened. So Yeah, to be continued, everybody. Ride safe, rock on, and Godspeed, man. We'll see you next time.